And then along comes Harry Styles and Flo someone and Chris someone.
So
and
basically,
this is where Muireann comes in.
We had to establish an emergency group chat yesterday with Muireann because Gav and I were like, we don't actually know what's going on. I feel like if you haven't seen the Harry Styles video by now, I really feel like you either don't use social media or you're living under a rock because Muireann, this is huge this week.
This is all centered on a movie that's called Don't Worry Darling that premiered at the Venice Film Festival. That movie is, with the credits, 2 hours and 2 minutes long. I have now watched Spitgate for about 4 hours. So no matter what way you look at it, I have watched someone allegedly spit on someone else for longer than I will ever watch this movie.
Do you think that he's bad on him or not?
Absolutely.
Well, hang on, rewind. Explain the circumstances of this,
okay.
because even Spitgate is a level of detail beyond my ken.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is involving some of the most popular figures in the world, this movie right now. It's called Don't Worry Darling. It's a second movie from Olivia Wilde. So Olivia Wilde, for a lot of people who are listening, that was the blonde girl you fancied in the OC.
Okay.
Right? She was one of the doctors in House at one stage, all that
Who
kind
was
of
she in the OC?
She shifted Marissa. She was the pub. Alex, there we go. She was the pub owner. Well done, you. She was the pub owner who came in and shifted Marissa and was like, oh my God, lesbians, it's the early 90s.
To Bell X1 in 2004. Their major breakthrough.
Yes, okay, this is all coming back to me.
There you go.
Got it.
And her first directorial debut was Booksmart, which is brilliant. It is a fantastic movie with Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein. So funny. Advise everyone to watch it. So when she was going to direct another movie, when I tell you there was a bidding war for this movie, it was insane. Everyone wanted it. It was going to be huge. The drama started almost immediately because she'd cast Shia LaBeouf as the lead actor in this movie. We all know Shia has had his issues. Mm-hmm. So he's cast in April. By August, he's gone. That's it. And it's all kind of thought that she got rid of him with certain issues. He now has a court case coming up next year with his ex-girlfriend, FKA Twigs.
So he's not in it at all.
He's gone. He's gone.
He was erased from the entire thing.
We thought he was erased for the entire thing.
Oh my God.
Harry Styles get cast in his role. Florence Pugh, who is the woman of the moment since Midsommar, everyone has been following her. She's in the Marvel Universe. She's is
stunning.
An actress. Beautiful. She just filmed a movie in Wicklow called Wonder, based on an Emma Donoghue book. She is the next big thing.
She's it.
And she's cast, and then Chris Pine is cast in this role as kind of a Jordan Peterson's type role in this community that's like a Stepford Wives community. Gemma Chan is in this, Nick Kroll. So just really art house people. Everyone's mad for this movie. Are you with me?
Okay, we're with you. Yeah,
I'm sensing that there's a bit of a contrast between the art house credentials of everyone who's been named thus far and then landing in your man from One Direction who has no major acting roles to his name.
Listen, he was in Dunkirk.
But people said he was good in Dunkirk. I didn't see it, but people said he was good.
He was. Okay. He was good in Dunkirk.
So Harry Styles gets parachuted into the role vacated by Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is all that's happening. So this is in, we're talking about a land of COVID and all this kind of stuff. So
does that mean they have to reshoot everything? So everyone's got to go back and do their work twice? Or had they started shooting by the time he got dropped?
No, they hadn't started shooting because an issue was about rehearsals around Shia. Didn't think that they had enough time to rehearse. Now, things start getting interesting just a few weeks ago because we know that this movie is about to be released. And Olivia Wilde keeps on going on about the sex scenes in this movie because it's all about female empowerment. Men do not orgasm in this movie. This is what she keeps on saying. Florence is not happy about this. She's like, why are we still talking about the sex scenes if people are going to be coming just to see that? Like, there's more to this movie.
Why does she feel like that's like a pressure on her performance almost?
Well, yeah, that there was more than this.
Or that it's a very like sort of titillating way of selling the film. If it's supposed to be this legitimate art house film, you don't need to talk up the sex scenes to get people to come and see it.
That's sort of like because if you're talking about something which was always already going to annoy people, which is the fact that one of the characters, Chris Pine, is a Jordan Peterson type figure who has men in his scope and the women are there to serve the men, and a woman has disappeared from the Stepford Wives community.
Okay.
So this is what the movie is about.
Right.
And it's set, in this perfect world. And then it all emerges that Florence isn't going to do any sort of press for it because she hasn't been putting up anything on social media. Nothing. She put up the trailer. That was it. She's not doing any press for this.
Okay.
You think it's almost
Except for Venice.
She agreed to do one thing.
Okay.
Because she's filming Dune 2 at the same time. Now, most people would always have to they'd have to leave for a few days.
Yeah.
Dune is...
You're kind of always got multiple projects on the go, so you have to go and promote one while
and
you're
filming the next one. And you're expected to put your weight behind it if you're going to be in it. Yeah.
And Dune is a Warner Brothers release, and so is Don't Worry Darling. So obviously they would release her. Then Olivia
I love
Wilde.
how much you know about it.
Olivia Wilde starts doing all this press saying, you know, Shia had to go because I had to stand up for my actress and this is it. And that's when
But the
everything
actress is not
goes
there
mad.
to comment herself.
She doesn't say a word about it, but Shia goes to Variety and said, this isn't true. I left. She didn't kick me off this movie. And everyone's like, okay. And then he releases this video, and it is a video of Olivia Wilde driving while taking a video. No one seems to be talking about that, by the way, lads. She's moving her mobile. She's using her mobile phone in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, because she had said that
Illegal.
she didn't think that she could create a trusting environment for women when Shia was there. So she had to get rid of him. He was a negative energy. And he just went...
So they've got different stories about how Shia came to not be in the movie anymore.
Yeah.
But Shia posts this video.
He sends this video to Variety. I feel like I'm not ready to give up on this. This is Olivia. I too am heartbroken. I want to figure this out. You know, I think this might be a bit of a wake-up call for Miss Flo, and I want to know if you're open to giving this a shot with me, with us, if she really commits. Who's Miss Flo, guys?
Florence Pugh.
It's Florence Pugh.
So sorry, Olivia is sending this text or video
to Shia LaBeouf,
Shia LaBeouf,
trying to get him to stay on the movie when she said that she fired him.
So she's driving a car, filming herself saying this.
She is driving a car, by the way. Driving a car when she's filming a video.
Not ideal.
Not good.
So where does Spitgate and spitting come into all of this then?
So can I ask you, what's Chris Pine's kind of like? Where is he in all of this?
Okay, so this happens, and now this starts this kind of a war of attrition between the two of them, being like, you lied, you're lying. Who's getting all this kind of stuff? This is terrible. So obviously, this is bad. This is bad. She's on the back foot already doing press about this. They go to Venice. This is where they're having the world premiere for this movie that everyone has talked about, and it looks like not one person wants to be there. They all hate each other. Florence arrives late.
Is this the viral video that I saw of, there's a video of Chris Pine, and he's just kind of staring into the middle distance while someone else is talking around him about the whole process of acting, and he literally could not be more comatose looking off.
But that's because in that video, isn't Harry Styles saying, "Oh, the reason I really like this movie is because it really feels like a movie."
Yeah, you know, you have to go to a theatre. You have to go to a theatre for this movie.
That's what it was. You can't
It
watch
feels
it on
like
I think Chris Pine just looked like he was dying.
a movie, and he's like, "Oh my god!" I think Chris has been on holidays on a yacht for the last 2 years, and he's like, why is everyone imploded? You know, he's been having a great old time.
So then where the spitting?
What's the beef between Chris and Harry though?
Now, this is what's happened. So we're there. It's like, will Florence show up? What's going to happen? They're already doing press for the movie, and she doesn't show up for the major press conference, and Olivia doesn't want to stoke this fire. They go to the premiere. Florence arrived later than everybody else, looking phenomenal, by the way. Her stylist put up a picture saying Miss Flo, in reference to what Olivia had done to her.
Okay.
So then they go to the premiere, and Florence will not look at Olivia or Harry at all.
Okay.
Hugs everyone else. Fine with Gemma, fine with Nick, fine with Chris, will not hug anyone. They go inside to sit down, and next thing, Harry is sitting beside Chris Pine, and it appears that something falls from his lip, and he spits on Chris Pine, and Chris Pine looks, kind of rolls his eyes and looks at him. Is he exasperated? Is he happy? Is this an in-joke? What's happening? This is Spitgate.
So a particle of fluid definitely goes from one to the other.
I've done a slowdown on it, like everybody. I have done a slowdown. I've done a
Never let it be said you're not rigorous as a journalist.
I wanted to see. I don't see anything leaving his mouth.
So you obviously on this group, and people who are listening to this knows what Bellingcat is.
Yes.
So Bellingcat is obviously one of the biggest open source intelligence and investigative groups, right? Their lead researcher, Eric Toller, has gotten involved in this as to whether spit has left Harry Styles' mouth. Lads, I've watched this from every angle. I have watched this so many. As I said, I've watched
this. This is where the 4 hours kicks in. Yeah.
And he says it seems, he said that it seems unlikely that Styles spit at Pine based on the position of his lips. So where his lips were, spit could not have dropped on Chris Pine. What did drop from his mouth?
Gum?
Could it have been gum? Could it have been
like you would have seen
could it have been a tic tac? Half a tic tac? Make of that what you will. It might have been, because then at one stage, so this is Spitgate, and Harry sits down and he won't look at him. And then later on, we've got this, a few minutes later, we've got this other thing of Chris putting on his sunglasses and Harry kind of looking at him and going, come here, come here. They're having a laugh with each other. They're obviously joking.
Okay.
He didn't spit on him. He never goes to wipe himself. If someone spits on you, Do you
But
go to wipe
also,
yourself? Do you go to wipe yourself?
I would think I would, were someone ever to spit
Do you,
on me.
like you get, you put your hand in
I'm
your
rooting
sleeve.
for a tissue. I'm not touching the spit.
But you're rooting for something. Like, do you know when you're out and you see someone and like for the joke for years with the Daniel O'Donnell concert, spit me Daniel,
Yeah.
spit me
Used to be
Daniel.
a Dickie Rock thing. Spit at me, Dickie.
Spit at me, Dickie. Spit at me, Dickie. That's what I was thinking it was yesterday. That
Yeah.
every time Chris Pine saw Harry Styles, he was secretly such a fan that he was like, spitting me, Harry. And Harry has this Pavlovian response now every time he sees Chris Pine that he has to spit in him. That's my theory.
Wow.
Wow.
I feel way better brief now.
I do feel like I understand what's going on now.
Yeah.
Do you think that Harry Styles would actually spit on someone?
I think.
I don't know.
Well, no, unless it was with their consent. Let's be honest. Okay, consensually, yes, he would absolutely spit
No,
on
even with their
someone.
consent, I probably don't think he would, because I think that guy just has too much of a public rep. He knows like how volatile public perception
but
can
is
be.
it
Actually, he
kind of-
probably would if someone wanted
right.
it.
Okay, do you fancy Harry Styles?
I'm all over Chris Pine at the minute because he
Chris
just
Pine
he just
is
looks like
really
he's
hot,
stoned and hot all the time. Well done.
He is quite handsome. I don't know if I get the Harry Styles thing so much.
Would you watch it?
Oh, I'm definitely going to watch it now. Like,
I'm
100%.
invested now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Bye.